With the Oklahoma County Conservation District, coming to you from the OKC Zoo, where we're today doing a virtual land preparation workshop. We're going to be showing you a couple different techniques that you can utilize at home to transition your lawn space into a pollinator garden. So we're going to be exploring 5 different techniques, and in a couple months we'll revisit to see how those treatment techniques worked. The first technique we're going to explore today is soil solarization. So you're going to see us in a couple seconds here dig a nice trench around our plot, cover it with plastic, fill in that trench with some dirt so that our soil is covering that plastic well. And then basically what that plastic is going to do is cook the soil and cook the vegetation that is in there so that we eliminate anything that is growing in the ground layer already in order to prepare for new seeds coming next. So stick with us and see how we set up that plot. Finished product. We got our plastic covered up by the trench. A couple important things to notice. We used clear or opaque plastic. That is way more important than using a black plastic. The reason being that black plastic will tend to heat up but will not let the radiation pass through. So we want to use a clear or opaque plastic so that we actually get that solar radiation passing through the fabric and getting trapped underneath there, creating a greenhouse effect. The other important thing, a way to notice if you've done this properly, is to look at the ground after your plastic has been buried. If you don't see a lot of air movement beneath the plastic, you know you've done a decent job of closing off the system. And that's really important. We don't want a lot of gas exchange so that we get the best kill off of our turf grass.
Our second option for Bermuda grass removal is shading. We take large pieces of cardboard, overlap, and then staple them to the ground. We want to make sure that there's no sunlight available for the Bermuda grass. Otherwise, it will not get a good kill on it. The staples help prevent the cardboard from blowing away, so you want to make sure that you put plenty in, especially in our Oklahoma winds. The third option is rototilling. Make sure that you get a good kill on the Bermuda grass. If you go through once, you might not kill all the Bermuda grass. We recommend doing it a couple of different times to get a thorough kill.
I want to make a quick note here about herbicide application. First, I will say it is not the preferred method for eliminating turf grass because of the harmful nature of pesticides. Secondly, we want to address pre-emergent use because there's a lot of misconceptions about what pre-emergent does, and we really want to advocate for the disuse of pre-emergent, especially if you're trying to establish a pollinator garden. If you have thrown out seed onto your ground and then you treat with a pre-emergent, you've essentially wasted all of that seed because that pre-emergent is going to prevent any seed in that top layer from germinating. So really important to not treat your lawn with pre-emergent, especially in areas where you're trying to get native things established. But it's just a good practice to not do in general. All right, we're wrapping up here our different plots. You've seen our solarized plot, our cardboard vegetation smothering plot, our clean till plot here, and then our last plot is our herbicide application plot, which has just been treated with the typical glyphosate solution. Most of you probably have heard of this referred to as Roundup. You can buy it off the shelf. So basically what we're looking at here are 4 different ways at home you could potentially transition your turf grass to a pollinator habitat. So what we're going to do is over the next 6 to 8 weeks, we're going to monitor these plots to see what happens, see what kind of dieback we get. We'll probably end up retilling and retreating our herbicide plots to make sure we get a good kill. And then in the fall, we will overseed these plots with some native wildflower. And in the spring, we'll come back to this site and see what has happened, see which of our techniques has been the most effective at eliminating our turf grass and allowing native wildflower seed to take hold.